about the ratings of the soap operas. And Judge James, you're always saying they don't matter, they don't matter. So I want to actually just kind of clarify and put up what my position is and what I think when it comes to ratings in 2024. It's funny. The only people who talk about ratings are really people who are on social media who are using ratings as a point to help their side either way if the show is good or bad. Like in the old days, it used to be that way. In the old days, you could look at, well, it's still skewed, but in the old days, you could look at the ratings and go, see, they dropped all these rating points. And what storyline was up was this. But for every storyline that people don't like, there are people who like it. There are a few where everybody agrees. But for the most part, for every Marlena possession, there are half who liked it and half who didn't. I liked it. And so, and it did very well in the ratings too. People didn't like it, but it did very well in the ratings. We didn't have social media back then. So that's what's so funny. If we had social media around the second time around, but back then the ratings were huge for it. The James E. Roddy stuff on days was huge. Carly Buried Alive. It all worked. It was outrageous. It was crazy. But ratings wise, it did very well. It almost unseated Young and the Restless at some points. So I almost would be at social media back then to see what people would say then. Because they couldn't use the ratings behind it because the ratings were so good. So you see what kind of point I'm making? It's back then, if you're going to use the ratings for good or for bad, they were good. And there are a lot of folks who did not like that storyline, hated it. Then you got today people are saying it, and I sound like a broken record. I've already said this 100 million times that the rating system is not the same as it used to be. Everyone across the board has dropped because of streaming services coming in and the advent of the internet shows, and audio play, everything. It's changed now. And I've never been a Nielsen family, so even back in the day, it's kind of skewed. Like it was like, okay, well, I was a Nielsen family, so they didn't count my stuff. But I look at it this way: it's like nowadays the 4 shows that are on the air are actually all on the air for various different reasons and are winning in certain ways. That's why they're on air. Bold and Beautiful and Restless sold overseas, supposed to be Bold and Beautiful, most soap watched in the world. It's sold at nighttime, sold overseas. It does very well over there. That's why they're able to go to Monte Carlo and Italy and do those shots because they have a connection with them. It does well in those countries. It works. Now, you may not like the storylines. I'm looking at Homegirl playing a new Taylor. I'm like, I get it. Luna Kiss Bill, I get it. They get General Hospital. People ask me this one. Who's to debate? I have Hulu. Now, people are using the ratings for GA saying, hey, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. Now, on Hulu, it's one of the top 15 shows almost every single day. It airs. And it's in the top 5, sometimes number 1, sometimes number 3 for the day of all the shows. And I saw someone post that and was showing it, and I saw 2 responses that made me just kind of chuckle because I'm like, I guess it still doesn't matter. They're going, but I have a different Hulu plan, so my top 15 will be different. Now, I don't know if that's true. I have no idea, so I can't refute that or not. I have the regular, like I have the no ad plan or whatever. I have Disney Plus and all that. So there's a couple plans. There's one with ad. I think it's one that's a free version, ad base. You get some ads and then no ads. Well, on the no ad version, if it's in the top 10, top 5, it doesn't. That's really what counts. We're going to use the ratings. That's what counts. Out of a grillion shows on Hulu, General Hospital regularly places in the top 10. Anything that places top 10, anything where there's lots of them, that's an accomplishment. Songs, films, TV, whatever. That's a big deal. It means that somebody's watching it and someone's enjoying it, or somebody's watching it. To say that, very least. So if you use that rating system, you have to. But it's like, no, they still, because again, I'm seeing online people trying to use and weaponize the weight or ratings for their own feelings, in my opinion. And my thing is, you don't have to do that. If you think the show is bad, it's gone down, you can just say it. It's gone. You can list all the reasons why I think it's gone down. If you think the show is good, same thing. The reason why I say this because I have friends who watch soaps who are not really, or either they're on low social media or not that much social media or not at all. They don't care about ratings. It's the last thing we talk about. I know people on social media who don't care about ratings. I know one of the outlets post the ratings all the time. I don't even read them anymore. I'm like, I don't. Okay, it doesn't matter because, like I said, each of the shows is on for a specific reason, and they're doing fine. And there are people who are either going to watch because they're going to watch, or they're not going to watch. I don't think ratings have anything to do with it. It's storylines. For me, I don't have enough time, so I stopped watching Days of Our Lives. I don't. My girl hopes not on it either, but I don't have the time. So I really do the ratings. I just don't have time, and I'll pick it up every once in a while, to see what's going on. But it's not that. There's times I've taken a break from Y&R and Bold and came back to it later, and I had nothing to do for me. I didn't do with the ratings. It was just like I don't care for a storyline, and that's what it all boils down to. I don't think the ratings are as important as people try to make them to be. But you can say, well, James, you just said on Hulu it's a top 10 show, or Bold and Beautiful. So I mean, yes, in some cases it does matter, just meaning that it's out there and it means it's doing well for what it is. Ratings are ratings for every single show out there in the world. So they're there. I mean, and yes, if you're super low rated, obviously you're out. My show, What Calls the Heart, is the number one scripted show on Hallmark, but also on cable, and it regularly gets around 3 million. People use those ratings against that too all the time. I'm like, well, no one's getting 11 million anymore. Walking Dead got 11 million when it first started. That's not happening anymore. Mad Men, that's not happening anymore. 3 million is pretty good. We'll take that. 2 million, 1 million a day for General Hospital. That's pretty good. On ABC, on the ABC version, that's fine. So it's kind of like the two sides of the same coin. It's like focusing on ratings is not. The show's not going to get canceled because of the ratings they're getting right now. Just, I think none of them are. I think Days was the last one that was kind of like that. And Bowl and GH had a little problem there too, but they fixed it. It's about being under budgets. It's about actors guarantees. It's about saving money in other ways, sets, props. And many of these shows are under budget or at budget, or they're doing fine that way. So there's a lot of components. That's what I'm just trying to say is that ratings are arbitrary. You can say they're doing great on Hulu, and that could be your excuse. You can say it's doing bad on ABC, and that could be your excuse. But I just think for people, in my opinion, it's one after the other. It's all about right now. Do you think the show is bad? Do you think it's some bad stuff? That's all it is. You just say it. You just use that. Is the show good? You think the show has some good points? Okay. I don't think any of the shows will go back to their past glories. Those days are over. I wish they were. But I watch soaps. I work in the soap world. I know the actors. I have a good time. I mean, all three soaps that I watch, there are things I like and there are things I don't. And I still watch all three, regardless of what the ratings are going to be. And if I decide to take a break, take a break. But I mean, everybody has a right to feel how they feel in terms of just the show themselves. But I mean, you guys, I'm sure you guys are going to write me. You tell me. I mean, for you, do the ratings really make a difference? Do the rating? If you see it goes down so many points, if you follow that religiously, does it really concern you? Do you think the show will be going off the air? Does it really? I mean, are you really nervous about it? I mean, when the show if it goes below a certain point, do you go, well, wait a minute, will my show last? Because that's a real concern for you. I'm just really curious. Yeah, that's it. you know, on this show, we talk about everything. We talk about all aspects of what people are talking about in the soap world. And I find it fascinating. I'm not a part of any of the conversations. I stay out of everything. Because other people go back and forth and do what they gotta do. Rarely are people listening to each other anyway. I think most people are just they're all talking. Everybody's talking, and very few actually listen. That's on both sides. There are people that I follow that make me laugh. For me, for like good laugh, they say stuff that's hilarious, and I love it. And I'm here for it, and I'll be like, oh my god. I mean, I love some good shade, and I love a good comeback to something. I do. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to tell you guys? Because I don't know anything about any behind the scenes stuff at General Hospital. I don't. I don't know anything about people getting fired or how they get fired. In this case, I know nothing. People were DMing that too because they heard certain names, and I'm like, nope, I don't know. I seriously don't know anything. I'm not a part of that. I don't know anything. I don't. So, and when I hear certain things, I usually share when I hear them. But in this case, I don't know nothing about people getting other folks fired. If that's true or not, I have no idea. None. Make sure I say that too. I don't know. Daytime Today's on all social media platforms, and we'll talk to you next time.